Howdy, howdy, everyone. This is Clara Lawrence, and I'm actually doing two videos at once. And how am I doing this? Well, I'm joining in with a team of different artists at an event called Artapalooza. And Tish Winters from the Artist Haven has put together this great idea. I believe it's once a week, every Wednesdays on her channel. Different artists come together, and basically we hang out, chit chat, and create together. The video is segmented into 6 screens, and periodically she'll enlarge one of the screens so you can see if it's something the individual artist is doing is getting really interesting. So sometimes we have a theme going where we all pick like maybe similar colors. We had a theme one time where we did red, white, and blue with a choice of metallics like a gold or silver, that kind of thing. But this time, no real plan. Just kind of do what you want to do. So we've got everything from acrylic paint going on, resin, and I picked alcohol inks this time because, I hadn't done them in a while, so why not? So for me, there's no real plan. I'm just playing with some colors. I've got little palettes over there, the little round discs that you see there are some ceramic, they could be porcelain, palettes that I've dripped some alcohol ink into, and I can add more alcohol to dilute or add more ink to concentrate or even blend other colors together with them. But it makes it easier for me to dip my paintbrush into and just apply it to the canvas. I also was trying to figure a technique that wouldn't involve too much use of some kind of dryer or blower of some sort because I didn't want that added constant noise in the background like I would normally when I play with alcohol ink. So I was trying to keep that in mind with the other artists and stuff. So this is a very new little event that Tish has put together. So we've only done a few of these. So far, this is my third one. And there was another one that I wasn't able to join in on. So they're a lot of fun. So I'll put the link down in the description so you can see the event that I was included with this time and also see her channel, and definitely encourage you to subscribe so that way you get and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live the next time with Artapalooza, because it's just a lot of fun, and when you get a bunch of people together having a good time, you just never know what's going to happen. So think of it as just hanging out with your buds. So it is live, so you can also join us in on the chat as well. So I would definitely encourage that. So today I'm playing with several different colors of ink. I'm going to have a picture at the end of the video so you can see what colors I did choose. There's some purples in there. There's, I believe, and I'm trying to go from memory here, mermaid, a black, Payne's gold, and I've got my palette there that's like a little flower palette that's got all the metallics in case I change my, figure out what I'm in the mood for. And I think I went mostly with silver in that one with a little bit of copper. I threw that in there occasionally. But what I also did is there is a kind of a fuchsia, almost a wine looking color, and what that is a little bit different. That's resin art colors that are geared towards it's kind of like, how do you describe that? It's kind of, it looks like a powder, but it's not. It's like it's partially dissolved micas into like a paste. I don't know. Anyway, but it is a powder like form, but they're made out of micas, and you can add those to alcohol and paint with them too. But the neat thing about those is it adds a shimmer that the other alcohol inks don't have in them. But what I will have to do with this piece when it's completely dry is definitely take it out and give it a good spray down to seal it, because it is mica powders, and mica powders don't completely dissolve. It is like a particle. So you can rub it off, and I would highly encourage you not just to seal it, but also to go the next step and possibly cover them with resin. And it really makes them go to the next level as far as color wise. and bringing out that shimmer. So keep that in mind. I'm probably going to do that as well, because I just love the way alcohol inks look under resin. It really does add that luxurious feel to them. And especially when you add other elements in there, like some kind of pearlescent or the mica and stuff like that, that really does just come alive under resin. So I am just playing, so enjoy. I'm going to throw some music on and watch this thing come alive, because right now it's looking kind of like, okay, you got some wavy lines going on there. But as it develops and grows and I throw in more alcohol, it gets a lot richer and a lot more depth comes into play, and the colors really start interacting together. So it's a matter of building and building and building colors and going with that. All right, so enjoy.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Join the army of the shadow. 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 Join the army of the shadows. Shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way.
So I'm real happy with the way this is developing right now. I've got a lot of layers going on. And yes, I'm continuing to add and build and build and build colors. But each time I lay down a color, because it's an alcohol ink, the alcohol interacts with the next color behind it, near it, or underneath it. So it still keeps on working really well. I'm pointing out the tissue on the side. It looks really interesting, and that's what I've been using to wipe my brush off on. But oh yeah, I remember also what was going on. Somebody was asking me about that particular blob. It was like, what is that? And I accidentally dripped some alcohol onto that spot. Um, but you'll see me occasionally. It's like, wait a minute, does she actually have any color on her brush? And I might, like in this case right here, I'm just dipping it into straight alcohol only. We'll clean up my brush occasionally and wipe some alcohol through it. And it's not to take away the color, it's more to encourage that interaction. Um, and also the board that I'm using, I believe it's a birch board, but they are pre-gessoed panels, and this happens to be a 12 by 12. And I'll also put the links down in the description of these little tools that I'm using. The little palettes, the ceramic palettes, and those little bitty squeeze bottles with the little needle points coming out of them. Those are probably the handiest thing with alcohol ink that I've ever used. What's also really cool about it is if, like, say the little flowered palette down below, if you've got some colors that are like things you always are your go-to colors, you like almost always put black in or gray, or in this case that's a metallic tray, you can leave the colors in there to let the alcohol evaporate and basically dry out, and then just activate them with adding a little bit of alcohol and continue to use them. So you always have those colors at your disposal, and they're really, really super handy. And when, let's say you do want a clean palette, they're very easy to clean off by adding some alcohol and wiping them down with a rag, and then adding a little bit more alcohol, wiping it down a little bit again. Now the big ones, the big round ones they're almost like coaster size. Those I do usually end up cleaning off most of the time. But occasionally I'll keep a color in there and I'll keep working with it, especially when it comes to my neutral tones. Those have a tendency to stay a little bit longer. So just wanted to throw that out to you. And oh, as far as brushes, to be really honest with you, alcohol is kind of tough on brushes. So I have a tendency to use inexpensive brushes with alcohol ink because I don't want my nice ones chewed up by the alcohol with the bristles and stuff. So I mean, you'll even see on the far right, I've got some like these unicorn handle brushes that are real inexpensive, but they work great for the alcohol ink. So it's one of those things where, you know, a high quality brush is not necessary. So all right, well, I'm going to continue with some music and enjoy.
Find your way into this wonderland. Cross the maze, the dark, the innocent. Chase the faith, the thrill, the heaven sent. I got you wild upside down. The labyrinth will guide you far away to a place where senses will decay. Your ghost and mind will shadow play. I got you wild upside down.
All right, I wanted to jump in and talk about the little drips that are all over the painting right now that look like big old random drops of alcohol. It is actually alcohol, but it is also some more of that resin art stuff, but with the, I believe it's the Milky Way color, which is like a white pearlescent type of a color mica. And I really, really like these because when you drip it on an area that has a lot of color, it's almost like dropping little drops of pearls on there. And especially is the case when you go and put resin on top of it, that pearl sheen really does shine quite a bit. So I actually going, and this is a brush that I believe its primarily purpose is for watercolors, like for traveling watercolors, because you can feel that little cavity in there with water, and so you just bring your little watercolor palette and those little watercolor brushes. But in this case, I was like, I wonder if alcohol would work, and it does. Is it foolproof? Is it gonna leak? I don't know about all of them, but these particular ones seem to do fine. I have used another brand and they work fine as well. But I'm just kind of going, and I do pick up some color. I think it's a Payne's gray, or it could be the black, one of the two. And I'm kind of going underneath colors with it and adding almost a little bit of a shadow to things to try to also play with the depth a little bit. Sometimes I go over the dome, sometimes I don't. But this gives that definite area just a little bit of shading. So I'm playing with that a little bit too. All right, continue with the music later.
Heading down Cali, driving round with my baby. Top drops and raindrops, motion got me all faded. My heart got me going all crazy, and I won't be walking away. Yeah, New York in the sunshine, I'm a fool, yeah. I got love blind, and ooh yeah, got my heart out and it's covered in gold, like moonlight over Hollywood, and it's cool, yeah, 'cause you know it's good. Oh baby, we'll never get old. You got it going on, I'll be there in a heartbeat. Tell me your favorite song, I'll put it on repeat. I could wait for you forever, through the storms or any weather. Yeah, you're like New York in the sunshine, I'm a fool, yeah. I got my love blind, and ooh yeah, got my heart out and it's covered in gold, like moonlight over Hollywood, and it's cool, yeah, 'cause you know it's good. Oh baby, we'll never get old. Headed down Cali, driving round with my baby. Top drops and raindrops, motion got me all faded. My heart got me going all crazy, and I free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer while we're so ashamed to be alive. Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Join the army of the shadows. 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 Shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder. We are more than numbers, standing in their shade.
All right, let's bring you in for a close-up. But first, I'm gonna go at an angle so that you can see the metallics and the shimmer that the resin art left behind. Because it's hard to see it overhead with the camera and stuff. But I mean, just little dances of the silver and little hints of copper. And the little glimmers in the center there, the little bubbles are from the resin art, kind of like little pearls. All right, so here it is, closer. So I was just mainly working on building up layers and layers of color, and then adding alcohol to it, and then working on building more layers, create a little bit more of a complex area where you get interactions like this happening that are really fun. In here. Makes for a more interesting piece. All right, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, but definitely hit the bell to get notified next time I put a video up.